Them.
Hmm. We got no music tonight, and I got a DJ here. This is horrible.
I
Okay.
know. I
I'm so embarrassed.
I
I'm
could have
so
run you some
girl.
music.
embarrassed. I'm so
Had some
embarrassed, Sherry
could have had some
Berry.
good stuff. I know, I know.
Yeah, I
And I've
could have.
been
I
listening to
know.
music all day today too.
That's okay. We have the music of our conversation. We have the music of our conversation. So the link is live on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we are ready to go. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. We're back. It's Friday night. We're on the couch with Dr. Kim. I'm not by myself tonight. I got company, y'all.
Uh-oh.
We're
Company.
talking about shooting your shot. Should ladies shoot their shot? I don't even know. As Sherry says, and we talk in the morning on way to work and in between her gigs and those things. And we're like, it's really kind of puzzling that we're even having this conversation in 2026, but we are.
But
But
we
we
are
are.
here. We are.
I don't know
And
that
so,
any conversation is puzzling these days because
because like we just said a minute ago, some
exactly
folks
like we
are
just
dead ass set on being stuck in their ways and then wondering why they keep doing what they're doing and keep getting what they're getting.
absolutely.
So we're gonna attempt to unpack this tonight. And so I got some real ones with me, y'all. And I definitely invited the fellas tonight since people say that I've had more women on here lately. But what did real men, real men? Well, I got real men tonight, and we're
Got
gonna
real
find
men
out.
tonight.
Real men. And people get into arguments over that. What's a real man? You're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
find
you don't want
out.
to have that conversation with me. You really don't.
What is a real man? And
Yeah.
who's judging? Who's writing the criteria? Well, I'll let you figure that out for yourself. So we're gonna start ladies first, so you know who's with
Ladies
me tonight,
first.
and then we're gonna get into it. So, DJ Sherry Berry, tell the people who
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are.
I'm me. No. Okay.
It's
Other
on me.
than, other than the cookie lady and DJ Sherry Berry, I am a speech language pathologist. Early intervention, so I work with the babies from 0 to 3. And I DJ and bake on my in my spare time.
What
So I'm
spare
all
time?
about communication. Yeah, I know.
You said you DJ and what?
Bake. I'm the
Bake.
cookie
Oh,
lady.
okay. Bake, bake, bake.
Mm-hmm.
She
Yeah.
bakes those old school CPS butter
Butter
cookies.
cookies.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
She's a pusher. It's
Glacial
crack. I think she put crack in them.
Yeah,
cracking them. Yeah.
probably. Probably.
I think they always
Honestly.
put crack in them when we were little.
When
We
we
just
were
didn't
kids,
know it.
yeah.
That's true. That's
And
true.
that explains a lot. That explains a
It
whole
I
lot.
needed them to
does.
just have that little bit of darkness though. Like
You
I
like them
Yes.
a
needed a
little
A
little,
darker?
little
A
yeah,
around the
little
like
darker?
edge.
Okay.
subtle, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
could do
the
that.
Almost like
that's
I
the
like
magic.
charred, some meats to be just a little charred. It's the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
way. I
I could
like
do
this.
that. You like
Yeah.
your
And he
cookies
like his
just a
cookies the
little,
same way.
little
Just a little bit.
You got
All
me
right.
thinking, look, I'm on a sweet break. You got me going through a thing because I'm
Well,
on.
That's all
when you
right. I'll
come
catch
out,
you when your break is right.
I
When
was
you
about to
come
say
out.
when you come out, she have a bag ready for you. Well,
So
Mr.
weird.
Mr. Mason, tell them a little bit about yourself besides liking cookies that are a little charred on the
Oh, you
edges.
know what? Even on my own podcast, I hate to do this.
It's hard.
Yeah, I always say when I'm with the guys from, well, I guess I should start there. I'm the host of a 5-year-old podcast called Live from the Cave. It generated during COVID. We were just trying to create something for everybody to do, and so we had it on the weekends intentionally because people weren't going out on the weekends. Then when we finally stopped sheltering in place, we put it on Thursday nights. Me, Robert Hazard, Mel Roberson, Glenn Murray, and we have a few people that pop in and out on a regular basis, like Randy Stress and Kennery Smith. We were lucky enough to get 2 seasons on WGN. We had really, really poor um, hours though. The slot they put us in, the first slot was 4:30 a.m. Sunday morning. The second was
I
6.
remember that.
Yeah.
Brutal.
So, but yeah, so I do that. I'm also a government employee, I guess. I mean, I'm a Cook County probation officer, which a lot of people don't know. I sing professionally. I'm a professional photographer. stuff I usually never say, Kim. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's how I
usually
met you.
how.
We were
Probation?
at no, we were at Danon's
Probation.
retirement party.
Oh, yeah.
We were,
In the
and you were his
backyard.
photographer. We were
Yeah.
at wherever we were.
Oh
Yeah,
no, the
that's how I
spot.
met you. We were
Yeah.
at Danon's retirement party.
Yeah. So I usually say I do a little of this and do a little of that. And
And
I'm
you do it all well. So
well,
make sure
thank
you
you.
give the
Thank
exact name of your businesses before we log off tonight so folks
you.
can
Sure.
find you.
Absolutely.
Mr. Smoot,
My dear sister Kim.
brother.
It is good to be here. Good to be here with you. Even though
Mm.
you still
Even though.
partake in that evil concoction of, pineapple on pizza. I still,
Don't judge me.
Don't
Oh,
forget
I've always
cupcakes too,
judged
Chuck.
you on that. I'm going to keep judging you on that. But
Okay.
before I say anything else, since I have not seen you in person since you made the announcement, I do want to sincerely congratulate you on your new position. It is definitely well deserved, and we are all so absolutely proud of you. So kudos.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, Chuckers. Thank you.
Like I
Now
said,
I can go ahead. I can go ahead and see what the end's gonna be now.
You
All
can
right.
run on. You can run on and see what the end gonna be.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can with the wind at my back. Yes, I can. All right, cool. All right, let's get into it. So, if you those who follow, I know Rossi. Hey, Rossi, we got Baltimore in the house. I'm in the Silver Fox group. I'm in several, right? So I'm in the Silver Fox group, and this man asks, "Should women shoot their shot?" I've got nothing to do at that particular moment. Sure, they should shoot their shot, but not pursue. He immediately responds, "You're wrong." Er, First of all,
What did you say? What did
I said yes, but not pursue. Women should shoot their shot, but not pursue. He immediately says, "You're wrong." Then another old man gets on there and says, "Yeah, brother, she probably single and she gonna stay single because they don't listen." I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So it goes on. They start talking about themselves just because to themselves because I said women should not pursue. So then I said, "Well, what do you mean by pursue?" Well, they were like, "Well, if you interested, follow through. That's what you all want us to do for you. If we come up to you, then you want us to plan the date. You want us to drop down on a knee. You want us to get a ring." I mean, he already went to the altar. I said, "Dude, I'm just talking about going, I want to get to know you." But anyway, then some other men, but all these old men were jumping on your beloved Dr. Kim because I said women should shoot their shot, but not pursue. And let me say this before I turn my guests loose. I have to give credit to my guest to my left, probably your right, depending. DJ Sherry Berry, who took about 10 years to get yours truly to even shoot her shot because sis was taught by my mother and the aunties and them, women don't approach men. Egg doesn't chase sperm. You're anatomically built to receive. So why would you say something to a man intentionally? It took this sister here, and it was at least 10 years. At least 10 years. And finally, she just got ugly with me one day, Chuck. And you can picture Sherry doing this. Sherry just finally said, "Well, Doc, how that's working for you?" Just like that. And I was just like, my own sister. Well, damn. Did she just say that to me with her whole face? She did.
Oh, did.
like that was
And then
hard.
I had to go in my cave, Sean. I had to go and just, kind of roll up in the fetal position and talk to myself for a while and said, she was right. She was right. But then we had to talk about how. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. If a woman should, what should that look like without some of the ramifications? And I'll share what I've experienced. So, should they? I think we all agree here. Women should.
Absolutely.
If they see somebody they're interested in, they should let the brother know. So what does that look like though?
So
So
I
what
don't
does
know.
that look
I
like?
don't know if there's an order to what to.
There is no
what
order. Jump on in
No
as the spirit
order.
leads you.
So first of all, the subject in itself is quite an interesting subject. The the reason for your wanting to have the conversation, meaning what the guy said, makes it an even more interesting conversation
Mm-hmm.
because I vehemently disagree with him.
Okay.
Enough that me and him couldn't even hang out. We're
Gotcha.
clearly two different kinds of men.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I say that, and I did what I was told to do. I looked through what we were going to talk about. I wrote out little things that I had, in
Oh, okay.
well, I mean, one of the things that you're not going to take from me as a man is my leadership posture.
Mm,
So I'm
okay.
not
Say
going to,
more.
yeah, so I'm not going to just give that to you, right? I think that's a little indulgent, and I'm a little self-indulgent, and I'm cool with us holding on to different traditions as long as we're conscious enough to know when they have become toxic or when they're no longer serving us. But a lot of
Mm,
times we hold on to traditions that are no longer serving us for the sake of tradition. I'm waiting for the chance to be the man. So if you open the door, I'm good. You just removed a step for me. Now, for somebody like me, that's perfect because I am not the aggressive kind of guy like that. I'm not out. I've never been a dude that's out hollering at the ladies. I always had a rule. Even when I was a younger guy in the clubs, I had a rule. I'm shooting my shot one time. That goes
mm.
good or it goes bad because I don't want to be seen as the dude who's bouncing around until he gets a hit. You know what I'm saying? So I would decide the one person in there that I thought was worth me, putting my ego on the chopping block for. And if that
Hmm.
person was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling you, then I'm good for the night. I'm closing the shop for the night. But and I never whole nother conversation. I never feel like I get flirted with. My friends tell me that I take niceness and kindness for just niceness and kindness. So if a lady is nice and kind to me, I don't walk away thinking she flirted with me. I walk away thinking she was raised right and she saw an opportunity to be nice to me, and that's what she did. So I never think, oh, she was trying to holler. That doesn't cross my mind. It has to be super blatant, right, for me to think.
Super blatant. So give me an example. What is
Well, I was going to
super
tell you. So
blatant?
this is what I think is super blatant. Like last night, ironically, I felt
Oh,
like I got flirted with. I was like, wait a minute.
Right.
Did that?
oh, the timing is excellent.
Oh,
Right.
it was super sweet. So I was with some of my buddies. One of my best friends is in from out of town. We went to a house music picnic. We're standing around, and guys are gonna be guys. We're seeing who's aesthetically pleasing and who fits what we like or whatever. And there's a cute lady dancing, and I'm like, man, lady's pretty. She's like the kind that people would miss. She's really, really, low key, kind of bad. I'm trying to not give you the verbiage that the guys would be using. And and so it's an hour later, I'm walking to my vehicle, and just so happens that lady is parked across from me. And she's with a lady that I know. And the lady that I know speaks, and I go, "Oh, hey, I didn't see you." Yeah, yeah, yeah. And as I'm walking over, I go, "Oh, I watched you dance tonight. You're a great dancer." And she said, "Oh, wow, are you single?"
Whoa.
Like, well, damn, that's we
Yeah.
got right to the chase, so that I would
Right.
consider was kind of a flirt, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, I mean, if she hadn't been that blatant about it, I wouldn't have taken anything that she said for anything other than niceness. But to revisit your original point, after you crack that door, then I'm doing what I'm supposed to do as a man, or what I feel like I'm supposed to do as a man. I just need you to let me know I'm good coming in the door.
Mm-hmm.
And
Hmm.
So
sometimes men do
extend
need
the
that.
invitation.
Yeah, sometimes men do need that because we're in a much more sensitive climate now. And so a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
women don't want to acknowledge the fact that men are a little slow to move, because if it gets misinterpreted or taken wrong, or it becomes this whole other thing. So men
Yes.
become a little hesitant
Mm-hmm.
at shooting their shot because they don't want it to be taken as being too aggressive or whatever. But once you let me know that that's where we're at, I don't need your help. I'm good. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be
Right,
the
right.
man, and I'm gonna do what I'm expected to do. So
But you know,
Okay, so you need some clarity. Okay. All right, go
I
ahead,
want to
Chuck.
back up. I want to piggyback on what he said, because one of the things I was thinking about is I think about this relationship. There was this woman who used to hang out at this spot, and I mean, I always thought she was attractive. I always, blah blah blah. But I swore, I convinced myself she wasn't interested, for a number of different reasons. But all my friends was like, "Dude, she's into you. She's into you." Didn't believe it. Um, we were a part of an organization that I was doing a thing for, and she was one of the chairmen for one of the subcommittees. So we had dinner one night, and and for me it was strictly a business dinner. And I'm like, "Hey, you want me to take you home?" She was like, "Yeah." So we get in the car, and she looked over me. She was like, "So you just not gonna kiss me, huh?"
Well, dang.
And I looked, and I was like, she's like, "I've been sending you signals." I was like, "You have?"
right.
And next thing I know, her tongue is down my throat.
Whoa.
That night
You got the
led to an
kiss kiss.
11-year relationship.
I was gonna say that
Oh,
night lasted
wow.
3 weeks.
It led
Wow.
to, now, while the relationship ended on a really messed up note,
They usually
but
do,
the
Chuck.
fact is, I wouldn't have hollered at her, because I didn't think, there was no way I would have thought she was interested in it. And everyone around me saw it but me. And I think, what Sean was saying earlier is that, I mean, between sometimes men just being clueless, because sometimes some men, they don't pick up the signs. None of us are mind readers. And just because you think, "Hey, I'm flirting, blah, 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 this is what it means to me," that doesn't necessarily always translate to the intended recipient. And through no fault of anyone's own, but you know, people interpret signals differently. But I think
Mm-hmm.
the other part is, ironically, I've seen this subject being talked about by a couple other people on my friends list on Facebook and other places. And I saw this one brother, kind of lay out one of the reasons why he prefers women to approach him is because of the fear of, particularly in the workforce or in an academic setting or something of that, the fear of sexual harassment, the fear of unwanted attention, the fear of getting a negative consequence from just, doing a light flirt. And
General interest, right?
yeah, and I think we collectively, um, where we're told, to, take no as an answer, and where we're told not to infringe upon anything. And I think that has caused a lot of, men to be cautious. But, and the last point I'll bring up on this is, Kim, something you alluded to earlier. We are dealing with traditions. We are dealing with, it should only be the men that should make the approach. It should only be, and we should be past that, because if we're in this era where we're supposed to view people equally, we're supposed to give people equal consideration. I've always said, for the women who are against the notion of, shooting their shot at somebody, I was like, so y'all just don't want to face the prospect of rejection the way we do, you know, which is, I think, and it's kind of like, one of the things I said on Facebook is like, that's a bit of a double standard. It's okay for the brothers, for us to risk rejection time and time and time again. But Lord behold, you say something, you get rejected. That's the end of the world. And so I
Right.
see that as, a kind of a double standard in some women's
If,
um
but if I can jump in with you, Chuck, real quick, I think that that's that's a structure of humanity, right? We can as men we can be hypersensitive to the reality of it because what you say is absolutely correct. You know, men are the ones that are subject to the rejection 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But based on your ability, your aesthetic, whatever, you may find yourself in a position where you don't have to jump through the same hurdles everybody else does.
Absolutely.
And that ain't necessarily your fault, right? I think
Absolutely.
about the times when I was in a church choir, and because I've been singing professionally for 20, 30 years, I could miss rehearsal and still come in on Sunday morning and do my lead, and ain't nobody gonna question me. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like if it's five weeks of rehearsal on a fifth Sunday, and it's a new song that we ain't never done, but Sean's leading it, and Sean ain't at rehearsal every Tuesday. Ain't nobody saying nothing because they know on Sunday Sean's gonna come in prepared to do what he has to do. So sometimes it's your lot in life, you know what I'm saying, or what aesthetic you have
Great.
in
Great.
this situation
Yeah.
that will remove that hurdle for you. You know what I'm saying? But I do certainly think that it's an opportunity for women to be sensitive to some of what it takes for men to be men in this world. And that's kind of where I think we miss it. It's the same way white folks miss our struggle. You know,
Hmm.
it doesn't affect them, so they don't really have to think about it. And so I think a lot of times women fall into that same thing. I don't have to deal with that. So I don't need to think about it. It's not something I need to prioritize. I don't
Right.
care that you got rejected 4 times tonight and you went home licking your wounds and you may never ask a woman to dance
Hey,
again. You know, I don't give a
right. A
damn.
lot of women don't. They don't care about that. It's all
Yeah.
about them and, what they can get out of it. And I honestly don't understand that. Women seem to forget that men also have feelings and it's not all about them.
As a man who's unapologetically in touch with his feelings, I can tell you how valid that is. Like,
I
so.
don't I don't get it. I've never been I was never taught like the good doc here that, I'm supposed to sit back and I'm supposed to wait, for a man to approach me or anything. My mom has always taught me, you go get what you want as long as you're happy. My dad taught me that. You see something you like, buy two, just in case you use up the first one.
Right.
So I've
Wait a
never
minute, that's men
been,
too. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Daddy was like, you
We
see
talking about
something you want,
men,
buy
not
two of them.
cookies.
Yeah, they probably
Okay.
coming for free
Daddy
though.
said, look,
Date them
when I was
all.
younger, when I was younger, I remember this was one of my birthdays. I had a date, I had a plan B, and I had a plan C. I did.
Wow.
Plan A didn't work out, none of them actually worked out. So I ended up hanging out with a friend of mine. But rejection doesn't bother me. It doesn't waste my time. So if I see somebody and I say, "Hey, how you doing today?" and we start talking and we kind of hit it off, no problem with saying, "Hey, why don't we finish this conversation at Starbucks or let's go get a drink and sit down and talk." If he says no, okay, nice talking to you. I'm on
But
to
see,
the next one.
that's a grown grown person to use
That's an
Sean's
right,
moniker.
that's an adult
That's
person.
grown
So
grown.
I'm in the
That's grown
business of
grown.
communication. I teach children how to communicate. I teach children how to use words to get their wants and needs met. So for the life of me, I don't understand how some grown women, CEOs, CFOs, COOs, only on companies, only on homes, only on cars, they worked hard to get that. They put themselves out there to go get what they wanted. So why is it that all of that energy they take to go get what they want, they get rid of it when it comes to men? Oh no, I can't. Oh no, I can't.
Because they were told and taught that those are things that they pursue and that men are to pursue them. And so they don't challenge the tradition of what they've been taught. because from little girls, they were taught you're going to kiss some frogs before you find your prince, right? Just like
Mhm.
little boys are never taught that some little pretty girl is going to drag your ass until you have to go to the hospital to get your damn heart fixed. Like nobody tells
Jesus.
like nobody tells little
Mm-hmm.
boys that. They just tell them go pollinate these flowers. Go to the
Mm-hmm.
ground and
Mm-hmm.
pollinate these flowers. By the same token that they don't tell little boys your virtue is as important as little girls is. You
Yes.
should be protecting
Yes.
Yes,
your virtue
exactly.
the same way little girls are being taught to protect their virtue. Little boys aren't taught that. They're taught to go conquer,
Hmm.
conquer, conquer, conquer. And then they have to pay the price for that. And sometimes, hear me, they never stop being little boys.
Yes.
And so
Hmm.
while I'm a huge advocate for men, I don't ever give men a pass when you on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I'm gonna call you out on bullshit just like I'm gonna support you when I think somebody's dumping something in your lap that you don't deserve. So there are a lot of men, that's just the truth. They never grew up. That never got
Yes.
old to them. You know what I'm saying? Some
Hmm.
of us, I feel like
Hmm.
you're fortunate when it gets old to you. Like that got old for me.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
and,
but
But
I
some
think,
folks it doesn't. I'm gonna jump in after Chuck because I got a question. Go ahead, Chuck.
yeah, I mean, I think, and one of the things that both Sherry and Sean alluded to, but that really deserves is the cultural conditioning and the way we have been conditioned that women taking the initiative, you know, is somehow more masculine. And somehow that is emasculating men by taking initiative. And, which is complete and utter garbage. But we have this cultural conditioning where, Sherry, you brought up the whole thing of the CEOs and the women who are in charge um, of their professional careers. And why can't you bring that same thing? Because they've been taught that to bring that same energy, the same type of ideology into a relationship somehow makes them less of a woman in a lot of areas. And
Hmm.
then, and so I think part of what we have to counter is the cultural conditioning that in order to be what you said earlier, a real woman, you have to follow this rule book. In order to be a real man, you have to follow this rule book. And the reality is, we're all figuring all of this stuff out as we go. That there is no magic switch that tells us, perfectly. And so as we figure it out, whatever works for us is what works for us.
So I think it might be a combination of, like you're saying, women thinking that. But I'd like to push back a little bit that it's sometimes how that woman is received when she functions in her full authenticity, meaning that she's going to voice what she wants, she's going to voice her preferences, and she's going to approach somebody that she's interested in. It's been my experience that some men take that to mean a lot of other things other than what I intended. Well, if you're that aggressive, being that blatant and clear, as Sean said earlier, then that must mean that you want me. So now, after that, that's why that gentleman was going that way about the pursuit. Well, if you're going to start the ball rolling, you got to keep the ball rolling. And for me, that's uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. I want to tell you, yes, I'm interested in you. I want to get to know you, like you said, and I've learned that it has to be that clear. Even though it's interesting to me that in our 20s, I didn't have to say those things. They were very elusive, and somehow young men seem to pick up, oh, she's interested in me. But those same cues with a fully mature man don't register. That's still a mystery to me. How I won't even demonstrate those things on camera, but they
And
somehow
I,
they don't work anymore. But I've had some men think if I'm approaching you and I'm saying I'm interested, then you must want a fuck buddy or because you're an aggressive woman. So a
My
lot of
own
women are
husband called
reticent to step
my
out
own
because that's
husband
how you're
called me
viewed.
aggressive. When I was married, my own husband called me aggressive.
Lord.
Now he knew who I was when he married me, even before. But we were, at this point in time, we were going through some stuff. And I remember it was a New Year's Eve. We were at home. We had ordered in, we at home, having a good time. And yep, I took the lead. You my husband. Well, I'm used to women behaving a certain way. He was like, you aggressive. I have to be in the right mind space and all this other stuff. I'm like, I'm not that chick that's, telling you I got a headache, I don't feel good, and any of the other, other stuff some women do because they don't want to have sex with their husbands. I'm
I
like, sir, here I am, and you calling me aggressive.
And she was just being grown.
See,
I'm just
I
being
can
grown.
only
I'm
speak
being
for
your
myself,
wife.
right? I can only speak for myself. Like I'm single, right? But I do date. And in
Okay.
dating, for the most part, I date one person. There's one person that I go out with, spend my time with. We understand why there's no long term for us, right?
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
we enjoy each other's company. If I've been seen out with a woman in the last X amount of time, it's probably been her. But we are not a couple. And I am still single. And if there's ever a time when I feel like I need to more decisively, make that known, I am more than free to do that. I say that because she called me and asked me out. I've known
Hmm.
her for many years. One Sunday rang my phone and said, "Hey, would you like to go out with me?" Now, she probably had some intel that I had been crushing for many years, so it probably wasn't a stretch for her necessarily.
Little research never
You know,
Right,
hurts.
yeah,
right, right.
but she still made that phone call.
Mm.
Anything could have happened between the time she decided to make that phone call and actually making it. I could have
Mm-hmm.
found somebody and been involved in something and been like, man, I'm not available or whatever. And so, but my point is, if I were to introduce you to her and say, despite the fact that you asked him out, has there ever been a time that you didn't feel like he was the man in the man spot doing the man shit? She would tell
Mm-hmm.
you, hell no, there's never been a time. So
Hmm.
to me, like I said before, you ask me out, you're just giving me the green light to be the man that I am accustomed to being. That's it. I ain't expecting shit else from you because I'm looking forward to being that man. Like, shame on that dude. I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? But I enjoy that space. I enjoy being a man. I enjoy that control of it. I enjoy saying we're going to do A, B, or C. I enjoy that. So just because you asked me out, suddenly that's not my thing. No, 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 no. Thank you for saving me from the possibility of rejection. That's all you did. Now let's make this thing happen, Captain. That
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Let's go.
so,
Right.
Let's
so
go, Chuck. Jump in."
yeah, I think there are a couple of things. I think, and some men who are intimidated by a scenario that Sherry described. I know I don't hate to say it, I'm just calling a spade a spade. They have insecurity in their own manhood and their own masculinity to where they would view that as problematic. There is nothing wrong. When I hear guys complain about women being aggressive, what baffles me is that they'll complain about women being too aggressive, and then 3 minutes later, they'll complain about women being too passive. And it becomes this thing. And when you call them out on it, it's like, well, that's just how men should be and women should be. So, coming back to this whole cultural conditioning thing. Now, as for me, one thing I did not mention, I've been polyamorous for a little over 25 years. So, and one thing I have seen in the polyamorous communities is a lot of these hangups that we're talking about um, don't necessarily exist in the polyamorous communities. That and it is not, and women are not looked on as less than, and not looked on as more masculine. They're not looked on, they're just looked on as, hey, she's just making her preference known. And sometimes she does just want to get laid. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I think the dichotomy for me is having existed in a community for, like I said, the last 25 years or so, where there is a certain confident liberation where women are saying, I can fully be a woman. I can fully be, if they are on the feminine track, or maybe they're on the butch track, well, but they're people are secure enough in their own sexuality and their own sense of self that they're not bothered by some of these other issues. And I think, with outside of that community, for people who allegedly, are more involved in monogamy or things like that.
You said allegedly.
Well, allegedly, because we got a lot of cheaters out there. Let's not front.
Lot of people polyamorous, they just don't know it.
They just don't know it. There you go.
Right. The thing. If you don't know you polyamorous, you're not. It just isn't. But the thing is that
I can take that so many places.
Yeah, I mean, look, trust me, I can too.
Part two.
Yeah, I mean, we can have a conversation solely about this one day, but
that's a whole
nother subject. But there is a lot of the things that we look at of what does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be a woman? What does it mean to be a relationship? And a woman asking a man out, a woman planning a date, a woman even paying for a date does not negate someone's manhood or his masculinity. And the fact that we teach that, and I do say we teach that in a lot of areas of our community, is what I think causes some of the dysfunction that we have in some of our relationships.
I agree. I also think it's the same with when you find women that have a problem with men that are emotionally available. They can ask and ask and ask and ask for a man that's emotionally available, and then they get him and he's sassy.
Yep.
It's like you wanted somebody that was able to engage you in that space. Now you have somebody and it's so foreign to you. So be careful what you ask for, because oftentimes you're asking for something that you have zero experience with. You want to drive a Corvette, but you've never experienced the horsepower.
Right.
And so as soon as you get in it and put your foot on the gas, you run it into a wall, because it was good to fantasize about. But once you have the real thing, you have to deal with everything that comes with it. And that's the same with a man that's comfortable with his emotions and comfortable with the whatever female temperament he has. Like I'm very comfortable with the fact that I am a human being that has feelings. And as a matter of fact, if you want to get rid of me, ignore my feelings. When I introduce them to you, act like they don't matter, and it'll be a short run. Now my feelings don't have to take center stage, but if you can't consider me, if you can't stop for a second and go, how is this going to make him feel? Then you're probably not the person for me. And I go, if you're a woman who doesn't want a man to be emotional, like, where is he supposed to go with that? And I'm not supporting infidelity, but I do think a lot of times men go where they can be vulnerable. And guess what? If you can't be vulnerable at home, you're leaking. You're still looking for somewhere that you can go and be vulnerable. And if you can't do that at home with the person that you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with, I that's a whole nother conversation, because I think that's at the heart of a lot of infidelity, is you're seeking what you don't have access to at home. But my point is, I can cry on your lap all night and punch a nigga in the mouth in the morning. Chuck,
Maybe the
you
same
know what I'm
night.
saying?
Maybe the same
Maybe
night.
the same night. If he come to the door, can we gonna get these things? You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's such a self-destructive mindset, And I've mentioned this on my podcast before, that I actually know a lady who told me to her face, if she ever saw her husband cry, she didn't care what it was about, she would leave him. Like she had
Wow.
no bandwidth for her husband to cry about anything, the loss of his mother, anything. And I
Because
thought,
she would see him
Wow.
different.
because she would see him.
Weak.
And
That makes, oh my God, that does not make any sense to me at all.
it's
But I
terrible.
believe it. Because they say
I mean, I
crying like a
believe
little
it.
girl. It's so many, like I said, so many negatives that are assigned to men
Emotional, just that
expressing
emotional
themselves, being
vulnerability. Yeah.
emotive.
There you go.
He
Right.
all in his feelings. He stay all in his
Oh,
feelings.
you have no idea how much I hate those kinds of sayings. He's in his
Mhm.
feelings,
He and his feelings
but
oh,
then you
I
complain
hate
about the
all of
men
them.
that you don't have emotional access to. It's like
Right.
I hate all of them.
that's why.
In his feelings,
Right. Yeah.
But those
masculine
same women,
energy,
those same women, a
feminine
lot of times
energy, all
that,
of those sayings, they get on my nerves. Every last
and
one
there's
of them.
truth to all of it, but I think we take it to the nth degree, right? Because I
Mhm.
can't
Right.
stand a whiny woman. You know what I'm saying? If you
Shit, I can't either.
constantly
The hell
crying,
you whining for?
I can't say what I want to say because but constantly crying, constantly, everything is so. When there's not a balance, I think that's unattractive in either gender, right? But to automatically say to a man, suck it up, pull yourself together, ain't nobody trying to hear
In
that.
10 years, he's
That's
going to be somebody's
problematic,
husband that can't communicate,
right?
Or worse.
or worse.
Or
The
worse.
only way, Chuck, he can let it out is to be toxic,
How does he
violent,
communicate? But it's not with
Right.
words. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But oftentimes those same women I've noticed can't reciprocate those things that they say that they want.
because they've
So I
never
want
experienced.
somebody
It's a
who can
fantasy,
talk to
King. It's
me.
a fantasy.
Yep.
You've never
Mm-hmm.
had it.
Hmm.
So you're yelling to the world that you want it, but you don't know what it costs. You don't know what it requires. You don't know what you have to do to sustain it or maintain it.
That
You just
part.
want it because you hear that it's great to have,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
but you're not ready for it.
Because there's some accountability to that. If I want a man who's emotionally available and who has emotional intelligence, then like I'm saying, I'm also going to have to match that, which means I need to be able to express how I feel about some things. And I also need to have some self-awareness of how I show up in spaces when you're sharing that. And that requires again some accountability. You're hurting my feelings. All you're supposed to say to me is I'm pretty and I fuck good. Anything else is an insult. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're
No,
100%
you're
So
right.
I can't have these vulnerable conversations because that'll hurt my feelings. But you're supposed to take it because you're built for that. So like you said, we've been taught some very toxic things and we've internalized a lot of that toxicity. And a lot of, like you said, what people are saying, again, the internet is what is mom called YouTube University or whatever. But people are,
Hmm.
like I said, picking up the vernacular. And I remember real strong, I think I did a show on that about the provider women. I want a provider. I don't want to go off our topic too much, but Steve Harvey came out. Oh gosh, we all read it. So now everybody's saying these words. And like you're saying, Sean has no idea what that looks like in 3D, real life living color, and what it's going to require of you to keep a person like that.
But not only that, how are you going to let a rich man,
I'm listening.
how you going to let a rich man tell you what your expectation should be when you're married to this blue collar man.
You know, I'd like to take your statement just a little differently.
Mhm.
Why do we keep letting people who ain't in our relationships try to dictate what our relationships should be like?
I'll tell you why, Chuck. I
You
got a
know,
great answer.
I
I got a
mean,
great answer.
it's like
I
we
got a
will
great answer.
listen to all of this crap and all of these people who, I'll listen to Sherry because sometimes Sherry is intelligent. So no, I just, no,
Disclaimer.
no, Sherry, but you know what? I mean, there's one thing we let people who aren't in our relationships give us all of this information, advice, blah, 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 and we will dictate our relationships as a result of that instead of doing, Kim, you mentioned earlier something about being self-aware and doing that work. And instead of doing the work to become self-aware where we don't have to, Steve Harvey is an idiot, I mean, just period, point blank, the end. And so why, I'll that so-called, well, I'm not going to call her a doctor, but y'all know who I'm about to bring up.
Yeah, I
She's
know who you're talking about. Yep.
with her faking ass. But why are we listening to her? We get, I mean, even though, like I say, even though I'm polyamorous and I may have another partner in addition to my primary partner, at the end of the day, a relationship is between two people. So why are we listening to
outside
people who I've never met, I've never encountered, I've never interacted with? And when it comes to the meat of the origin of your conversation tonight, Kim, is you got people saying, oh no, you shouldn't let a woman ask you out, blah blah blah, but he's single. Or you have another woman saying, oh no, I'm not gonna, I can't do that, man got to come to me, but she ain't been on a date in 5 years. Why are we listening to these people, and why are we letting them in our relationships?
Or they're lying. Or they're lying.
Oh,
Can I answer?
they're
Can I give
lying,
you? Can I
right.
give you at least my answer to that? I
Sure.
used to say, I used to say that we would search the world for the one person that's willing to love us broken before we would take the time to fix ourselves and then watch the world fight for the chance to be the one that loves us.
Wow.
Right. And so
Wow.
when people do that, if you ask me, when people do that, it's because they refuse to accept the truth that's in front of them.
Yep.
They are looking for somebody to affirm the fractured thinking they already have.
Yeah.
I'm just who I am.
Yeah, and if it's
They're
somebody
gonna have
like
to accept
Steve
right. That's just
Harvey,
me. Right.
yeah, if it's somebody like Steve Harvey who has a national audience, then you get to feel better about it because he has so many other people agreeing with him. Well, he has people agreeing with him because he has a bullhorn.
Right.
That's
Right.
all. He has a bullhorn, and there's a lot wrong with what he says, but he has a bullhorn and he has a platform, and that's all you need to be influential. So that's why people go to these people, because they're looking for somebody to tell them their fractured thinking is okay.
Yeah.
They
That
don't
part.
challenge themselves and say, this might not be right. I get called something. I'm gonna let out a secret that I know, right. I just found out that we probably don't need therapy. All we need to do is talk to ChatGPT. I swear to God, I know that sounds crazy.
I have a friend that says that exact same thing.
Chuck, I had an all-day conversation.
That's so millennial.
I had an all-day. I kid you not, I had an all-day conversation with ChatGPT today. And my mind was blown because I do a lot through ChatGPT, and ChatGPT keeps that record, that data. And so find somebody that knows me personally when I'm having these conversations. A friend of mine put me up on it. And the reason I say that is because ChatGPT called me emotionally mature today. And do you know that in the last year I've been called that 10 different times by people who actually knew me?
Wow.
So when ChatGPT said that, I was like, damn, Now, be my head ain't big. I don't think I'm, this great dude who's so emotionally mature. I think the trait that I have that people tend to label as emotionally mature is that I don't make every situation about me.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how I feel about it, I don't act like I'm the only thing that matters in that situation. So you'll never see me dragging an ex, you know what I'm saying? Because that's her business too, right? I might feel a certain way about it, but I'm not you won't see no campaign with me on, on social media, and I'm just tagging and dragging and telling all the rotten shit
Right.
she did. And
Right.
you never see me do that because one, it's her business. Two, people don't care. People don't give a damn no way. To me, it doesn't help anything to be that way. So, but I'm just saying we lack a level of emotional maturity in today's society and places like the internet. If you want to be depressed, get in a conversation in any Facebook group.
That part.
And these
Yes.
damaged, fractured people will start to show up. And you'll be like, how the hell have you even survived? Like, what is wrong?
For real.
And maybe they're not. That's why they're talking to strangers, people that don't really know them, so they can say all of this stuff, right? And there's nobody to call them out that you're a liar, you're misrepresenting the truth, and you don't know anything, right? So everyone's an expert.
And to echo you, how's that working out for you?
How is it? No, that's Sherry. That was Sherry's words. Oh my God. Trauma. So as we wrap this up, we have a few people that just came into the chat. Good evening. Good evening. Somebody's agreeing with us. We all agree that 2026 women should shoot their shot. They should. For those who don't understand what that means, thank you, Rossi. They should express their interest if they see a man that they are interested in getting to know better. And I also heard the men say that it should be clear, that you should be direct. And being direct doesn't mean being aggressive. So I want to go there one more time before we log off. So if a woman is being direct, tell me what's the difference between being direct and being, I'll just say it, and hoish. So what's the difference between somebody approaching you with confidence and clarity and somebody just being over the top?
Okay, so for me, I'm the wrong person to ask that question to. And I'm not saying this to be funny.
I know, I thought about that as soon as it came out, but anyway.
Right.
I ain't got a problem with someone who wants to hit me up purely on a sexual basis. I don't think less of that person for that. So, that for me, if that's where you want to go, cool, I'm with it. Again, I think I go back to, the difference between I think the actual thing is, the way I look at it is, what is being a difference between being quote unquote aggressive and demonstrative. In other words, is the woman in question, okay, she's making her desires known, but then is she carrying that in such a way that almost becomes disrespectful to the person she's talking to? And so to me, there's a little bit of a difference there, that you have to thread that needle.
Mine would be a bit more crass.
Okay.
Do tell, sir.
If we are having a moment like I described last night, which I thought was really cute, right?
Really, it was.
I thought that was really cute. I'm good with that. If I'm having a conversation with you and I think you think your dick is bigger than mine,
That's a problem.
He said
that's a problem.
Right. That's
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And what I was trying to say, I was trying to be nice about it.
Yeah,
No.
it's
He made it
theory, but
clear.
Yes, he did.
Right, he made it clear.
you know
He
what I'm
was
saying? Like,
direct.
like I remember
Yes.
having a conversation with a lady who was flirting with me a couple of years ago, and she was like, let's exchange, numbers. And I'm like, yeah, because she was a cousin of a really, really good friend of mine. And I was like, okay, cool, we can exchange numbers. And she was like, no, give me your phone. Let
Oh,
me I want to watch you. It was just too much. Like, hey, easy, easy. Like, either I'm gonna call you or I'm not gonna call you. But you don't have to dictate that part of it. Like, again, you cracked the door,
mm-hmm.
and that was unattractive to me. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
I
saying?
get
So,
it. Mm-hmm.
so I think we just have to, but I also have to say this too. I am very vocal. People know me to be very vocal. I think that we should have the right to challenge one another. A lot of times our ears are so sensitive that when we're being challenged, we think we're being attacked.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're not being
Yes.
attacked. We're being challenged to be better and do better, because sisters belong to me, whether they know me or not. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? They belong to me. And so I'm always going to be willing to challenge sisters, but we have to we just have to figure out a way to not um take these things so personally. We want to be better for each other. We want to be better all around. And so I think like I said, I call men out in a minute. If you on bullshit or you acting like a kid or you not acting like a grown man, you in your 50s and 60s acting like you a teenager, I don't have a problem saying that's some bullshit. But
Mm-hmm.
we have to we have to learn to love each other and not be so sensitive and try to let each other in, to help because we got something for each other. But we've
Absolutely.
let the world and outside forces tell us that we don't benefit each other anymore. And that's really far from the truth. And
Yep.
we're losing these great opportunities for love and companionship because of silly shit like that.
Both sides. Absolutely. Sherry, what's your take on it? Then I'm gonna close us out.
You know what my take
What's
on
too
it is.
much?
Lady,
What's too much?
what's too much? I think being loud,
Okay.
being overly, I, I, I don't like women who are loud. I don't like women who are overly aggressive, maybe overly touchy-feely, and women who curse a lot. I mean, I know I do from around my friends and stuff like that, but if you're trying to get a man to notice you, that's too much. That's you doing way too much. I detest loud women. So if I'm standing over here and I see a woman talking to a guy and she's, mm-mm, you're doing too much because you're trying to be seen and you're trying to be heard.
Right. So you trying to get to know him, or you trying to get everybody to see
You're
you,
trying to get everybody
get to know
else's
him.
attention.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Just be
She's a,
you. Talk to the man. You know how I am.
I know
If
you're
I
getting
see
ready to close
somebody,
out. I'm sorry, go ahead, sure.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I know you're getting ready to close out, Kim, but what I wanted to say that I got away from earlier was I give sisters some grace because not every man is like me or like Chuck. You have some guys out here that are really dickheads and
yes.
they really they move like dickheads. They move like women
Yeah.
aren't human. They move
Yes.
like
I've
women
met
are
them.
Yes.
only things to conquer and sexualize. And so
Mm-hmm.
to their credit, a lot of times when you get that asshole version of them, it's because like I have a thing when I'm walking publicly, I very rarely will speak to a woman because I feel like she's been aggressed so much. She's going to process
Mm.
it as a flirt or a come on just because I'm
Mm-hmm.
singling her out and saying hello. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times
So sad.
I will choose to not say anything, right? But that's because you have men that will pass you on the street, and if they speak and you speak back, he hears, "Would you like a blowjob?"
Yep. You'll turn right
Yeah.
around.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
now women have paid a price for just being kind enough to speak back. So a lot of times men have to be patient and understand, especially, women that are targeted a lot, they have to deal with that shit all the time. And every now and then I will stretch out. I was in Mariano's yesterday and I saw a cute little lady, and I was really just making sure there was still some bullets in the gun. And as I walked past her, I said, "Man, I love your hair." And she said, "Thank you very much." And then I saw her and I kept going. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
stop and try to make it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw her later in line as I was passing. I was going to another line, and I said, "Have a great evening." And she leaned in and said, "You too." And
Oh.
I felt like if I wanted to make something, more of that exchange, I felt like she had given me the credit to
Mm-hmm.
do so. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I just opted
Mm-hmm.
not to. So we gotta realize that a lot of times we're dealing with the bullshit other men have made women deal with, and so it's unfair that you have to deal with it, but your man next door or your man up the street is really the reason, because he was like too aggressive, trying to smash her the night he met her, just, you know what I'm saying? So that's all I kind of wanted to throw in there.
That's good stuff. Oh my gosh. Like I said, that time went fast. I just
It
wanted to stay true to
did.
my promise because, I could stay here another hour, but I promised you all 8 o'clock. And I know folks got other places to be. So,
Got to
like
go
you
be
said, I
lonely and
think if
single, Kim. I guess I'm in a hurry to go be lonely and single. Yeah.
me too. Okay, to go be with myself some more. So I think, like you said, if we could keep it simple, we're just out here. Everybody wants to be with somebody. And there's varying degrees of that, as Chuck has said. Some of us want several people and negotiate that. Some of us want that one particular person. Some of us want that one particular person sometimes. But the bottom line is we just want to get to know each other. It should be love, not war. We should be what?
It
Make a
should
love,
be
not
that
war.
simple. It really should be that simple. It should be
It
no,
is that simple.
if you see somebody, hey, how's your day? How are you? People speak to me all day long. I'm usually in my own world, but oh, hey, how you doing? Or I talk a lot. So, I'll talk to anybody. If I see a good looking man or if he has on something that's, I find nice. I saw a guy in the store once. He had on this really nice denim jacket. It had all kinds of colors and stuff on it. It's like, wow, that looks
Oh,
really
you
nice on
smelling
you.
good? If they got the
Ooh,
smell
ooh,
goods
don't
on, you
smell good
definitely
now,
Easy
because
now, I'm a fragrance head, so easy now. Yeah.
don't
okay.
smell good because I'm gonna be like, hey, what are you wearing, sir?
I get a
Um,
whiff, you gonna know. All right,
but
Sean,
I
I'm
don't have
looking
a problem
next.
with saying, oh, that looks nice on you, or that's a nice hat. I know Sean likes hats.
But
So if I
isn't that
see
being
something,
human? Isn't that
yes,
being
it
human? And
is.
that's
So
what I'm
why do
saying. I
people
think
have
that
such a
we
hard
won't
time
do
with
it.
being human?
But
It's
I think
self-hate. It's self-hate. It's a lot that's wrapped up in that. Because I'm just saying, even women not addressing other women. You see a pretty woman, this girl, you wearing that dress?
I
I
do it.
see
I
you, queen.
compliment more women than I do men. I'll be in this. I saw a girl in the store. This was a while ago. She had on, so I love pink. She had on these pink boots that had this little rhinestone thing around them, and they were furry. I'm like, oh, girl, those boots are so cute on you, girl. I got them on Fashion Nova. They were on sale. The whole you dig. I have no
A
problem
whole nother
with
But you would
conversation.
be so surprised at how people can't receive that. Like the lady that I
Yep.
mentioned that I date, she's good for that. Everywhere we
Mhm.
go, every woman she sees, you're beautiful. That dress is this. Your hair is this. That's just how her energy is. We were at
Mhm.
an
Mhm.
event the other night. There was a pretty older lady sitting there, and I didn't even tell my lady friend this. We walk in, she's sitting with a guy, this older lady sitting with a guy, beautiful lady, short, jazzy haircut. As we turn to go to our table, my lady friend stops like she always does and says, "You're beautiful." She goes to her
Wow.
seat. By the time she passes, the woman is looking at me going, what was that about? So sometimes we can't even
Because we're
receive
not
it.
used to it.
We
Like
can't-
you're
Right,
saying,
right.
And I didn't tell her because it would have taken
it would have
some
hurt.
of
Yep.
her intention away.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I
And
knew
right.
what she was trying to do. So I didn't want her to feel any way about what I knew she was trying to do.
Yes, be
Right.
discouraged.
You
And
know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
we are oriented to mistrust basic kindness,
Yep.
you know, and
Yep.
I
there-
do, Chuck. I
there
can't lie.
is-
I do.
and for some of us, particularly, growing up in the areas where we grew up in, with some of the experiences that we've dealt with, we have a justifiable reason. But
Mhm.
what you were talking about, Sean, Sherry, and Sherry, when you were talking honestly, what I was honestly thinking is, you have a very friendly spirit. And I think that is sometimes what people respond to. But other people don't know how to respond to that. Other people don't know how to respond to that general positive era friendly.
They don't trust it.
Yeah, we don't trust it.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's a good reason,
Yeah.
but the reality of it is, I would just like to close. I'll make this my last comment. When we talk about these issues, I have found what has been my saving grace, honestly, over the years, is that I have 4 people I would consider my quote unquote best friends. 2 of them are women. And I would be absolutely lost without those 2 women. And
That's a whole separate conversation.
it really is. But it helps me understand, and when we have these conversations, talk things, because of my conversations with them and because of what they share with me, it's an insight. So what I'm saying is, I really think, I know some people get insecure and jealous, and which is another discussion, but having opposite sex friends, platonic opposite sex friends, is worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
I would shout
Absolutely.
it from the mountaintop if I could.
Okay.
I've had
Get you
I've
one.
had that. Get one. I've had them since I was 13 years old.
Mhm.
My
Yep.
very first one has sent me a text since we've been on the show tonight. And I can honestly say my world would be so different
Yep.
if I did not have those friendships. And so I feel for the short-sighted people
Mhm.
who feel like that can't
Narrow
happen.
view.
It's such a
Right.
frustrating conversation when I hear it. Just when I hear the question asked, can men and women be friends? I'm like, you're an idiot.
Oh,
You're an idiot. Just to ask that question, you're an idiot. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? My world would be so different. And my platonic friends are beautiful,
Oh,
okay.
right?
You said they're
And-
not Ugg muffins,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
And
Hey,
the
what my
the
friend
sprinkle-
asked you? What my friend asked you the other day, Doc? He said,
What?
he
I
said,
can't
oh,
remember.
no, what his statement. He said, oh,
Oh, your friends just fine, huh?
your friends fine. I'm like,
On
Yeah.
purpose too.
on purpose.
Yes.
Come on.
We woke
yeah.
up like that.
and the strength of our friendship is the fact that they know they never have to worry about me trying to
Mhm.
make it something different than it is.
Yep.
Because it's very
Mhm.
simple. As my friend, I got you till I close my eyes. There's no
That's
reason
it.
for us to not be friends until the day one of us dies. If we try to change it to something romantic and then the romantic thing doesn't work, I'll lose you as a lover and I lose the friend.
And a friend.
Right.
And that's
So-
a huge
So
loss.
once you're in that space with me, you locked in. And I can call 5 people right now and put them on speakerphone, and they will tell you exactly that. And that's been their experience with me when it comes to that. So, yeah.
And then that should be, like I said, be at the heart of all of it. So we need to learn how to treat one another. We need to learn how to see one another as humans first. We need to exhibit some kind of empathy. I think you all said at the beginning, is consider what does that feel like, right?
Yeah.
For the other person, either how we're addressing them. So even the women, we're saying you shoot your shot, you still need to think about how that's going to feel to that
Shoot
man.
your
How are you
shot.
stepping to him?
but don't let that not make him step up and be the man he's supposed to be. That's
Oh,
really
absolutely.
that's
Right,
And that's
right.
why I said
but
what I
that's it.
said.
Yeah,
I'll
look
give
here.
you the
If
invitation.
me and you can get t-shirts with that on it, because I 100% agree with what you said. Shoot your shot, but don't pursue.
Right.
That's it.
The pursuit is
And I
his.
stand on that. And I
I
stand
stand
on
with
that.
you, sister. The pursuit is
Okay.
his. I don't care how we got there. The pursuit is his. Men pursue,
Absolutely.
period.
Men pursue.
Period.
Men pursue.
Mhm.
So keep it cute,
Mhm.
keep it clear, but keep it classy. That's what I want you all to do. I'm gonna see if they can do that homework.
Depends on
I know
what you
that's
say classy is, because classy.
classy is the antithesis of
I knew
everything that
Sherry would
I
Sherry
laugh.
said.
I ain't keeping nothing classy with you, Chuck.
See,
Oh
I knew
my.
Sherry would laugh at that.
See,
Right.
my brothers and sisters talk to each other. They'll just say any old thing. But I'm not gonna define
I'm
classy.
messing with you, Kim.
Just like what a real man and a real woman is, you're trying to
Oh,
take
Oh,
that's
it
a
I
in a
whole
hate
whole
nother
that.
different
Oh, I
conversation.
hate
different
that. Real
direction.
man, real woman,
But
real man. Oh.
respectful. And I think the respectful comes in, like I said, approach somebody like you would want them to approach you.
Mhm.
Leave the approach where there's room for a response.
Right.
And if the response isn't there, and this is what I've learned, Sharon, again, I'm gonna give you some more credit, Doctor. I'm always learning. I'm a lifelong learner. Is that it's not rejection, and I want men and women to both understand that if you approach somebody and fish ain't biting, it's the process of elimination. I think the
Yep.
person is saving you some time. I'd rather that than somebody breadcrumb me and have me thinking that there's some hope for something else, whatever that something else is, than just acknowledging in that moment, well, thank you, but I'm taken, I'm not interested, I'm not dating, or I'm not feeling that same vibe. It's the process of elimination. They're doing you a favor. So I take it as a gift now instead of a rejection. It's like, oh, okay.
I saw a lady
This
post
girl,
that the other
move
day that she
on.
was out. She was like, "Why don't men approach women anymore?" I was out and I saw this man and we looked at each other and I saw him looking and da 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 da, but he didn't approach. She flipped it like automatically. It was some yellow spined man who wasn't brave enough to say hello.
Right.
And I said, "How
Right.
do you know the man wasn't taken? How do you know he wasn't admiring what he saw, but staying in the lane he knew he had to stay in?" Because he had something at home. Like, why don't you understand that every man that doesn't holler at you, it ain't because he's some spineless weasel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He don't holler at you
Right.
because he can appreciate your aesthetic, but he got a good thing at home and he ain't interested in messing it up. Like, why can't it be that?
Like, can it be? Or like you said, we can appreciate beauty. That don't mean we have to take it home with us and all those things. Well, I want to thank you all. We might have to come back and talk about some, and that's another thing, and that's another thing. I'll
Anytime.
call you all when we get to the other
Right.
thing.
Right.
Sean, tell the people where to find you before we log off. I promise
Look,
that.
you mentioned some music. You hear and pipe some music in the background, right?
Her.
You hear, um,
I can't, but I wish
can't
I
hear it.
could.
You should. I am all over social media platforms. Um, it's the Crooner is my Instagram. I'm on Facebook with my first and last name. Um, Live from the Cave. You can find me there. My photography page on Instagram is Evan Marcus Imagery Photographs. I'm really not hard to find. You put Sean and put Mason, you gonna find me pretty quick. So,
Pick which profile, right?
yeah.
Pick which one of those talents
Better
you want
pick
to
a
tap
profile.
into. Exactly. Sherry Berry, where can the folks find you? For
Usually on
music and for
Facebook.
cookies.
Oh, okay. Well, usually on Facebook or if I'm out and about at some event for cookies. The music Brotherhood DJs Tuesdays and Thursday nights. Tuesdays multiple genres, Thursdays house.
On Twitch.
Twitch, Kick, Mixcloud, Facebook, and TikTok.
Okay, cool in the game. Chuck, do you want to be found
Well,
on social
how do
media?
I want to be found? Actually,
Sorry, guys.
I do serve as the Illinois District Historian for Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, Chuck.
Do we
You were
do?
Oh,
all right.
that's
You were
right.
all
Oh
right.
man, Sean
Oh
is a new.
man.
Ah,
You were all, no, I'm
that's
just
right.
playing. I'm just playing. I got love for all the D9. Yo
I
to
thought
the
about it
new.
as soon as we started. I was like, I didn't make the Greek connection for
So,
them.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
so I do host a program called the Fireside Chats where we highlight different individuals and different topics. Actually, coming up, we will be we'll be having a conversation next week with uh, the retired elder Walter Baldrick from the AME Church. Be doing a conversation with him next week, and coming up next month, having a conversation with Mitchell Davis, who is the um, chief of police in Hazelcrest, but was just elected president of Noble, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Officers.
Oh,
So,
nice.
and we do a lot of really interesting, and actually, Sean, I've had one of your brothers on my thing before. I've had Kevin Scott on.
Oh, Kev, yeah, I know Kev very well.
Yeah, yeah. Kevin's a good friend. He's a good guy. We keep saying we're going to do some work together. But you can find us, particularly on YouTube, Alpha Illinois, Alpha/Illinois. You can find our Fireside Chat series there, and then you can just find me on Facebook at Chuck Smoot. And Sherry and Kim know how to find me. And and I'll
Yes, I do.
I'll bring some sangria out at some point.
Oh,
Yay.
nice.
And Kim, you can put all my tags on anything that you put out.
Okay, I
I'm
sure
very
appreciate it, and we'll do that. And you can find me on the couch with Dr. Kim on Facebook or on Instagram. And if you're a woman, you're welcome to join my group on Facebook, Love and Life According to Dr. Kim, where we talk about all things love and relationship 24/7. But it's women only. Next week, we skip a week? I'm still on the bi-weekly. We have Adrienne Jackson joining me from Atlanta. She's got some homework for the men, so that should be kind of interesting. And we're definitely going to have these folks back um, and get to some of these other topics. So thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, my
Good
sister.
night.
Appreciate you.
Time. Love you.
All right,
I
y'all take it
enjoyed
easy.
it.
Been a blast. Thank you for having me for sure.
All right, y'all.
We got to talk about that necklace here.
Hit me up.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all. Holla.
Thank y'all.
Hit me up. Y'all are funny. Bye.